Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the Sennheiser Memory Mic. Now this is a very small clip-on microphone that connects via Bluetooth to your smartphone, be it an iOS or Android device, and allows you to record better quality video or audio recordings for you to save, to share, whatever you want to do on the web or on a professional level. Now, this little microphone over here that I've got in my hand is pretty expensive. It's around £170, so that's not cheap at all. In the US, it can be found for around $200, yet again, not cheap. However, there's nothing quite like this product. There's nothing that connects wirelessly to a smartphone, has an app integration, and allows you to do both video and audio recordings wirelessly. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would I want this? Who is this targeted at? Well, it's for people who are either vloggers, people who are journalists, people who go to events and want to do interviews. It's for people who just want better audio quality when they're recording. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to fit in that bracket of people I talked about just now, but it can be. I can only see it really being used by those people, especially if they're going to be spending £170. Now you might wonder, okay, well if you're a professional, then why would you ever want it? You've got the whole mic setup and everything. Well, a whole mic setup takes wiring, you need a battery pack, you need a dedicated system, you often need some sort of bridge in order to sync up the audio with your video, or your B-roll or whatever it might be. Whereas through this, it's all done via the app, and I'll show you this in just a second. It's all done via the app seamlessly, and you can use the audio both from the microphone over here, or even the built-in mics of your smartphone. Or you can have a mix of both. I wouldn't suggest a mix of both, but the option is there. Once that's done, you sync up the audio, and then the video produces with better audio quality. So it's almost a very simple solution for those who want to conduct like an interview, as I said. You'd simply just attach a microphone to someone and go ahead. Now in terms of the build quality and design, let's just go a little closer up look of the product. Now looking a little closer of the product, you can see the microphone is going to pick up from the top. So it's usually best to put this on a sort of shirt or on top of like a coat or something like that. Now there's a little magnetic strip over here which attaches. Now the magnetic strip is quite flexible, as you can see, so you can have pretty thick coat or a suit or something like that you might have for it to connect. Now in terms of battery life, it lasts around 4 hours, at least that's what Sennheiser claim. I think it's just a little bit lower than that when it comes to constant usage. However, it can be charged via USB-C port. Now I like the fact that Sennheiser have included a USB-C port, mainly because it's just more of a universal port nowadays, especially for Android devices. So props for Sennheiser doing that. On the right hand side, it's got a button. Now my little complaint about the button is that it's a little bit hard to press. Like as you can see, it's not pressing. I've got a little bit of nail over here, so I have to press it with my nail in order to activate it. And the light that comes up is yellow. Once you pair it up with your smartphone, that's when you can start using it as the microphone, or when it's ready to record. Now with the microphone on, as I showed you just before, you simply open up the app, which you'll need a Bluetooth to be enabled, and it also require access to your media, which is pretty much obvious. But you get a little vibrate on your phone, at least I did on my phone, and then you can see the light turns green. Now in terms of the app itself, it's very simple, but yet quite intuitive, and also provides you all the things that you'd need. So as you can see, there's like a sort of halo around it, seeing as it's picking it up. First of all, the most important one I would say is the sensitivity. You want to adjust the sensitivity based on your settings. So low sensitivity if you're at a concert. You get a nice sort of dB level at the bottom, which is in real time. So if I were to bring it really close to my mouth, you can see it going red. Very simple to set up. I would say medium sensitivity in most scenarios what you'd want. However, if you're at a concert, low sensitivity, and if you're in a very quiet room with someone in front of you, potentially high sensitivity. But nevertheless, that's just for you to decide. In terms of the settings, you can see the battery level, you can update your firmware, and also adjust the video quality, so you can shoot in 4K as long as your smartphone is capable of shooting in 4K. That's quite useful to have. Now, if you press this little button over here on the right hand side, you'll see the clips. Now, these clips have been already synchronized on the app. It's very simple. I'm going to show you in live real time right now. So you can see over here I've got a video. If I just hold down, press the button, it'll start recording. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that it doesn't automatically switch between portrait and landscape mode. What that means is that if you're going to be shooting for something on Instagram stories, for example, you're going to want to be shooting in portrait mode. Just bear in mind that you will need to activate auto rotate on your phone in order for the app to pick up to switch to landscape mode. Just a small little thing I found there, because normally it doesn't automatically rotate if you have auto rotate locked on the system. Just a very small thing to note. Now you can see that the video finished on the microphone, and therefore it's asking me if I want to clear the memory or do I want to synchronize the audio. What you want to do is synchronize the audio, and over here it will beep again, it will vibrate again, and then you should, there you go, connected. It's going to create its own little Wi-Fi network, which allows you to connect, which it is now connected. It will download, which usually is pretty quick. Obviously on video takes a little bit longer, but there you go. Now it is done. So if I click on the clip over here, you'll be able to see I can play back the audio. And I can automatically adjust in terms of the slider between what the Sennheiser mic picked up and what the phone picked up. And now what I'm going to do is show you a recording when I was at Good Street station in London, and for you guys to hear the difference between the two. So now testing the audio at Good Street station.
What's going on?
The microphone is placed by my chest. Sensitivity is on medium, and doing it in landscape mode. So now testing the audio at Good Street station.
What's going on?
The microphone is placed by my chest. Sensitivity is on medium, and doing it in landscape mode. So as you were able to see, it's pretty clear and obvious what the difference that the microphone brings. Now in terms of doing that, in terms of saving either or, what you have to do is press the save button at the top right hand side, and then press the share button. Now once you press the share button, it will create the audio and then allow you to share it on social media or via WhatsApp or messages and things. One thing I did find is that there was no way of having too clear distinction of files. In other words, when I went through my gallery, all I found is one file after I press save again. So for example, right now I didn't do it, but if I rendered it via the Sennheiser mic, press save and then press share again for the phone one, it would only give me one clip, which would override the current clip that's there. The only way to get around this, and the way that I basically showcased the two videos in this video, was to share it, and then it will automatically save a file in the file. So let me just show you. If I'm not mistaken, it should be on the movies, memory mic, and over here you've got the files. Now over here you can then copy the file into some other directory, at which point then when you recreate another file, you'll have both files. Now I don't know why any user would potentially want two, unless they're testing like I did and showed you on the video, but nevertheless you can always access it. So what do I think about this little microphone? In all honesty, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Sennheiser aren't lying to us or misselling us anything, and the quality that you get from the recording is exactly what you'd want. There's a few limitations, and one of which it will kind of annoy audiophiles is that the maximum bit rate and the resolution is 48 kilohertz at 16 bits. There's no 24-bit audio. That could annoy some audiophiles or people who are like mastering in terms of audio. You might want slightly better quality stream. I don't know if that's to do with the Bluetooth limitations that you're getting over here, as in regular Bluetooth rather than aptX codec or anything like that being transmitted between the two. But nevertheless, that's what Sennheiser provide. Now, is that a big problem? It can be if you're someone who's going to be recording in 24-bit audio. However, most of the case, I think most people will be recording in 16-bit, if not 8-bit audio. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about that. The other thing is its price. It is very expensive for what it is. I mean, it's just a microphone. That said, just a microphone can get into tens and thousands of pounds, especially when it comes to professional grade audio. And also, due to its limitation in terms of its bit rate and sample rate, it won't be considered for those people who are in a pro audio scene. So it's not aimed at replacing those microphones or meaning that you don't need a full-length microphone for absolute top-notch audio. However, it's a fantastic option for those who want simplicity and ease of use. And for that, I would definitely recommend it. If it's something that you're looking at or you're something you're wondering about, then absolutely, the Sennheiser Memory Mic is a great choice. And I have, other than what I showed on video and my little limitations and my comments, I can't see any sort of problems, and I would definitely recommend it if it's something that you're looking for. So there we go, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, make sure you give me a like, comment, subscribe. It always helps the channel grow. I would definitely be interested to hear your thoughts about the little microphone, or if you actually use it or have thought about buying it, I'll be interested to see how you actually use it on a daily basis. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Take care and bye-bye.